You know, when it comes to a relationship, men want you to just know what we want without having to tell you. Does that sound familiar? Well, this is because men aren't sure how to describe what it is we really want. So he's not going to ask for it verbally, but you need to know what he wants, or you're going to risk missing out on a relationship with him. Let's talk about it. Let's look at the things men want in a relationship. Hey, this is Cavallo from datingfire.com and datingadviceguru.com. Guys have a tough time explaining their emotions, much less what it is they really want. There are a lot of things a guy is looking for, but you might have missed them completely. Why? Because you're probably trying to give him what you wanted in a relationship. Am I right or am I right here? Hey, he's probably making the same mistake you are, right? He's doing the same thing, but at least you can explain what your needs are to him. We are all guilty of this. We always try to give another person what we're looking for ourselves. You might have heard the saying and that advice of being able to walk a mile in another person's moccasins. What that simply means is, in order to understand another person's needs, you have to see things through their eyes. Well, that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to give you a look through a man's eyes at the world of relationships. Let's talk about the things a guy wants in a relationship. Okay, want number one is he wants you to take interest in his interests. Now, of course, you don't have to be interested in everything he likes, but a guy really does love it when you're interested in something that he's passionate about. It could be his sports team, it could be his job, movies he likes, or video games, or whatever. If you want to get him to feel an instant connection with you, all you got to do is take the initiative to either learn more about something he likes or to seek out an activity related to it. Let me give you an example here. My wife knew that I wanted to go see Motley Crue in concert on their farewell tour several years back. Yeah, I know, I'm an 80s rocker kind of guy. So what did she do? She found tickets to the event and got us the seats reserved. Now it helps that she actually doesn't mind hard rock music, but the fact was that she went out of her way for a band she really didn't care that much about, and that demonstrated her devotion to me. This is the kind of thing that got me to marry her. Remember, when you're connected to something that he loves, his love for that thing will also connect back to you. Yeah, it's true. This is a huge win when you pull it off, and it's very easy to do. Let's go on to the next want. It's number two, is he wants you to initiate sex. Now, this one is actually really, really important. For a guy, sex is the most important emotional connection for him. It's also the most direct demonstration of feelings and connection. For you, you might view it as being only a physical thing. It's not quite as important for you, but for the man, it's the primary way that he will connect with you. And you make him, when you make it a priority like this, and you make him feel like you desire him in the bedroom, this makes him feel connected to you like nothing else. You're making one of his priorities in a relationship your priority. Many women wait for a man to initiate because she wants to feel wanted, right? Or she isn't immediately in the mood. But don't wait. Start the engine yourself every so often. And this also includes physical affection too. Guys really dig it when women show physical signs of desire, like touching his hair, putting your hand on his shoulders, rubbing his arms or his back. Don't do it all the time, but do it frequently enough that he knows that you're still into him. A man wants to feel the adoration of a woman who is in his life. All right, this next want is one that I talk about frequently. Want number three is he wants you to be happy. A man's priority in a relationship is to make his woman happy. Now, most women don't realize this. It's hard sometimes to see through the fog of our self-interest to understand what's going on with the other person. But your happiness is his primary concern. And you got to keep in mind that trouble enters paradise when he doesn't understand what really makes you happy. Again, most guys are kind of clueless to this, so you have to help him. Be explicit. Be very explicit when you tell him what it is that makes you happy. Tell him exactly how to do that one thing. I know. You want him to just figure it out all on his own because that's going to prove to you that he must love you. Now, this is the most obvious and frequent problem that I encounter in relationships. Your desire for a certain definition of romance is what's holding you back from actually getting it. Yes, on one hand, it would be nice if he could figure this out for himself and just give it to you. But guys aren't like women. I think that's why you probably like them. The fact is, he's never going to figure this out on his own. So don't set yourself up for failure by waiting for him to figure it out. Tell him and let him give it to you. It's that or never get it at all. Which one do you prefer? Hey, is your man distant, hard to connect to? Do you feel stuck? Is he losing interest? Are you maybe close to breaking up? Well, find out if you can save your relationship now. Go on over to datingfire.com, win him back. Take the quiz and find out. All right, the next want is he wants you to encourage him to adventure in the world. You see, a man's greatest purpose is to be a hero in your life, and he also wants to be a hero in his own life. Guys are afraid to ask for time apart from you. He knows how important it is that you're together, and especially important to you, but a man feels like a man most when he's allowed his independence, which includes choosing to be with you or possibly choosing to not be with you. Women tend to feel more feminine when they're with their man and they're able to connect and nurture him. That's why you want to be with him all the time. This is another of the primary differences between men and women. Of course, you also want to have solo time with your girlfriends from time to time, right? One of the best things you can do for your relationship is to push him away and make him go spend time on his own. And make him spend time with his friends. He'll feel refreshed by this, he'll come back new again, and he'll appreciate you more when you do get back together. Plus, it feels like the opposite of neediness when you encourage him to do his own thing. Remember, it's either you make him take time for himself or he'll take it away from your relationship, and you don't want that. The next want is he wants your confidence. This one can be tricky because sometimes he doesn't really inspire a whole lot of confidence. Let's be honest here. The trick is getting a man to make you confident in him, and to do that, it's just to simply let him complete something that needs to be done without you telling him how to do it or pushing him to get it done. Yes, men do need deadlines, and this is the best way to make sure that it actually happens. There's the old example of taking out the garbage, right? You've told him maybe 1,000 times this is something that needs to get done, and he fails to do it on his own. Well, if he does keep doing that, you may have a character flaw that you just can't fix. But if you let him know that the dishwasher needs loading and then proceed to rearrange the dishwasher and micromanage to your specifications, you're sending him a message that he's just not good enough, that you don't trust him to provide for you. So you may have to start out by investing some faith in his ability to do something in his own way. What usually happens is that a woman will let him do it his own way and then go and correct him. And if this is handled like this, you're going to demotivate him for the future. Next want is he wants praise and acknowledgement. What he craves most is praise and acknowledgement that tells him he's doing a good job as your man. Now, this can be something as simple as saying, "Babe, thank you so much for handling the car insurance. I really appreciate that you did that." Or you can praise him for an everyday experience. For example, the next time he gives you a hug, whisper in his ear, "Hon, did you know that you give the best hugs in the world?" You're going to see his chest physically swell right in front of your eyes. You're going to read it in his body language that this is what he needs. Men need to hear that he's doing the right thing by you. Men rarely get encouragement and praise for doing the everyday stuff they do. When he hears that you approve of him, he's reinforced and he will want to do it again. Hey, you like these tips, right? You stuck around this long? Go ahead and hit subscribe and turn on notifications. You can get these videos every week and you'll know when they're released. 80% of you that are watching this right now are not subscribed. Be one of the subscribers. Come on, don't miss out. The next want is he wants your respect. Okay, so here's the deal. If you don't respect your man right now, figure out immediately how to change that. Turn it around 180 degrees, because if you don't, you will just be creating more and more resentment and contempt, and your relationship is going to end one way or the other. In fact, it may be beyond repair right now. Only you can tell if this is true. Now, if you think that it's repairable, then I'm going to show you something in a minute that you can do. But it's a vitally essential thing that you realize that respect permeates your relationship. Respect is 100% at the top of most people's list of requirements for a relationship. And I'm betting it's at the top of yours too, yeah? Respect shows up in every area. It shows up in the way you talk, the way you communicate with each other, how you listen to each other. It shows up in how you treat each other, even in the smallest ways. You ever found yourself trying to get a little bit of revenge? Newsflash, that's a serious respect problem right there. Don't forget the small things like being polite to each other. Saying please and thank you are still critical in a relationship even after 40 or 50 years. My wife and I have been together now for over 15 years and we still appreciate each other every single day. When you stop appreciating each other, the other person feels disrespected. They feel a loss of goodwill in the relationship. Now here's one way you can change this right now. Find one thing, just one thing he's doing right now, and thank him for doing it. Thank him right now. Send him a text, send him an email, or leave a voicemail. Doesn't matter. Just do it right now. The funny thing is, we rarely ask for respect, right? So ask your man right now, what would he think is respect in your relationship? And then listen as hard as you possibly can. The next want is, he wants your commitment. Yes, you heard that right. He needs to have a sense of security in your relationship. We all want security and safety in a relationship. Men need even more because most guys don't have strong or effective recovery skills when it comes to problems in your relationship. It's hard for him to bounce back. He's not as resilient. He needs to know that you're not going to leave him for some other guy. A richer guy, a smarter guy, a better looking guy. Men have their own insecurities when it comes to relationships. In fact, here are a few things you can let him know about that will give him more security. Let him know that you approve of him as a man. Let him know that you also approve of his career or job. Again, if you don't approve of that, then why are you with this guy? Also, let him know that you trust him. You don't need to sneak into his phone or call him to check up on him when he's out with his friends. See, some women can go off the energy of having 1 foot in and 1 foot out of a relationship, and they don't even realize it. If you were to ask these women, they would say they're totally committed. Of course, they're totally in the relationship, but their attitude that they're giving off is saying something completely different to him. And yes, men can pick up on signals. They're actually just as intuitive, but in a slightly different way. Now, I've given you some of the general ways to connect with a man and give him what he needs in a relationship, but you also need to know the specific things to do. I also told you that your relationship, if you're in one right now, it could be in jeopardy. And the biggest threat to a relationship is that most women don't really understand men these days. She doesn't know what a man really wants in a relationship or how to give it to him. If anything I told you in this video was news to you, it could be you too. The best way you can ensure and guarantee your relationship is solid is to know how to connect with your man. You have to know what he wants, and you have to know how to communicate with him. How do you do this? The best way is to know his code. Each man has his own code. It's a connection code, a unique way that you can connect with him, and other women won't be able to. The best part about this is there's only 5 of these codes. And if you want to learn what these codes are and find out more about his connection code, go here. Go to datingfire.com, datingfire.com/connection. That's datingfire.com/connection. Go on and check it out right now. Oh, and if you want more of this topic, go on over to datingfire.com and click on the article and you can get what I couldn't fit in the video. If you're new here, or even if you're not, let's do the big 3 right off the bat. Quick, like and subscribe. Get this stuff every week. Number 2, turn on notifications. Click that bell icon so you can get notified when I release more incredible videos coming soon. And if you're already subscribed, please share. I give away all this great stuff and I just need more women to find out about it. And number 3, if you have any comments, like, did you agree with these tips? Is there something you don't agree with? Or do you want another video? Do you want a part 2? Let me know by commenting below. Or any other videos you'd like to see. I read the comments. I try to respond to as many as I can each week. And don't forget, wait a few more seconds. I'm going to put a recommended video right up here in the corner for you to click. This is Cavallo. As always, live and love with passion.